Hey guys, this is Juan for JuanSource.com, and this is going to be the first in a two-part series for DE Tuscan. Both of these matches are going to be CGS matches from this past season. This is going to be 3D versus Optics, and the next part of the series is going to be 3D versus Chimera. Really, the things I want to stress in this series is how aggressiveness on your CT side can really benefit you. I'm going to show different ways of approaching how you can be aggressive on this map. As well as on T side, really how you can kind of apply the T side setup concept that I really stressed in the season commentaries, as well as the recent article that I wrote about how you can really apply this to this map and really make your T side strats hard to read using setups for this particular map. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. What we're going to do in this first round is first couple rounds rather, is we're going to be very aggressive and really test out how they're playing back on these areas and really try to just throw them off balance right away. So what we do here is we push 3 through this little connector hallway into storage area 1, and we just get in here really quick, and then one thing to notice is after we push into there and we clear it, we want to get out of there right away, because we push 3 through that connector and we play 1 middle and 1 towards bananas. So we're playing a little light at the B site. So when you're doing these pushes here, is what you want to try to isolate sides early on. And then rotate quickly over to the other side, because I think a lot of times on these pushes is that they're very difficult to stop from the T side perspective. But I think one thing you can do as a terrorist is, instead of like trying to stop these pushes, because they are very difficult to stop, is instead of trying to stop it, just kind of avoid them and go to the other site. Figure out where they're playing weak, and try to avoid it. Get to the other side as quickly as possible. So what we want to do as counter terrorists is really just isolate one area and quickly get out of there, and over rotate to other site. So we did a good job of there. We pushed 3 into the connector, got 2 or 3 kills there, and then went back to middle, and we were able to take it down. So again, on the first round we did a push. This next round we're going to do a push again. I'm pushing through middle here, and Mikey is going to be pushing through the little Z connector here. And the whole goal here is to set up a crossfire on the storage area 2. Now we didn't really hit our shots here in middle, but the whole goal there again was to get a crossfire set up so they can't just run out middle like they did there. And we had 3 guys just concentrating in that area. Nick was opping down into it. I was pushed in middle, and Mikey was pushed here Z. And we really should have been able to get those kills there, although we did kind of cause a little havoc there in middle. But again, the whole goal is, a lot of times when you're pushing into the storage area 2 there, is you don't want to push all the way in. You just kind of want to just make them know you're there. If you push all the way in, a lot of times they'll be set up on you. They'll be waiting for you. But if you just sit there, set up a crossfire, they really have to run into you. The problem there is that you're a little bit vulnerable in middle. So you want to maybe pay a little extra attention, maybe have an op post up there, or push a guy through kitty so that they can't just rush down and kill you in middle. So I'm going to show Mikey's perspective here. What he's doing is just watching for the rush, and then he's just listening to see when they're coming up. And Nick and Mikey want to try to play together here most of the time. They don't want to play separate. They want to ensure that they get trade kills. Now Mikey sets up here. He throws a good one-way smoke here. I'm going to show on another round where he uses that smoke to his advantage, because then now they know that he plays there. So you know, it may not work quite as well next time, but he's gonna throw a little bit of fake with that smoke on a later round. But again, we're just playing the advantage here. It's a 2 versus 5. No real reason to push here. And we should have bombed down here. Well, bomb spotted, but it's 5 versus 1. Just play the advantage here, obviously. Okay, I'm going to show this from my perspective here. Now we're pushing like 4 towards middle here. This is just something that's a little bit out of the ordinary, because you know, it may be a little weird if you think about it, you know, 4 guys just covering one spot, but when you're pushing that middle, and if you guys have guys spotting into storage area 2 and down the connector into storage area 1, you pretty much have the whole map covered except for sewers. So if we can take control of that, we're in pretty good position. So what we did there is we pushed 4 down into the middle there. I sat back and covered, and so if we just got 1 pick, and then we dropped back and played the advantage, because once they knew we were in middle, they could pretty much just stream flashes there and come out and try to kill us. But what we did, we just got 1 kill, dropped off, and we showed a little bit more aggressiveness, so that hopefully they're a little bit more cautious next time about taking middle, and they'll hopefully waste more nades, take a little bit more time. We fell back in kind of a messy setup in A there. We weren't quite in good positioning there. I think one pinched on us from the sewer, and that's what caused the problem there. One thing I should mention, while this is, well, I will mention about this. I think what Garrett did here was a little bit of a mistake. He ran all the way away, so he couldn't hear the diffuse. Because he didn't hear the diffuse, he had to run out at a random time and just hope that he wasn't posted up on him. And Mikey did a good job of, even though he faked the diffuse, it didn't even matter because Garrett couldn't hear it. But yeah, what I was talking about earlier is I think the sewer is a big key to taking A. If you can control the sewer as a CT setup, CT side rather, you're gonna not allow too many A takes because it's just too difficult to hold the site with the guy pinching from sewer here. I'm gonna show the perspective of the optics here. See, this is kind of the effect that our aggressiveness is having on them. Look how passive they are here. They're sitting so far back, and they're just wasting so much time in this position that every second they use is just to our advantage. And see, just look at how many nades they're using, because they're scared of our crossfire pushed in middle, or whatever aggressive, that they're using so many nades here. And again, this is our advantage here, that they're not going to have any nades left to take the site because they're so scared of our aggressive that they're using all their nades to clear that. So it's going to be much easier for us to hold the sites because they're so scared of our mid push. And that's really the effect I wanted to stress. You don't have to be aggressive all the time. You really just want to be pretty much random aggressive, because then they can't predict you as easily. They have to be aware of both. And on some rounds, it may bite you in the butt that they may get a couple picks on you if you're overly aggressive. But that's going to kind of balance out with the other rounds where they really waste their time, and it becomes your advantage when they have no nades or time to take sites here. So they took the site, and we had the advantage because of how much time they took. We got some picks. They didn't have any smokes to take the site, and so we were able to take down the run. Okay, on a previous round I was talking about how you don't really want to go into this storage area connector too much. However, I rushed in here because it was so quiet, and I didn't hear any word from my teammates pushing the Z connector that there was anything there. So I decided to peek in and see if there was anything there. Again, what I stressed on the first round there is when you're being very aggressive is you want to try to isolate sides. So what I try to do there is just peek, get a little more information, see if anything was there, so that we could hopefully rotate over to storage area 1 or the A site and have more of an advantage there by knowing that they aren't going to the B site. Okay, this is what I was talking about as how much of key it is to hold sewers. If Sal can get this entry, if a guy is coming sewer, it's going to be much easier for us to take the site. On the contrary, however, if he gets picked, it's going to be much more difficult. So Kyle and I are the other A players. I usually play mid. Kyle plays Kitty here. So what we have to do is we have to start pushing. Kyle pushes Kitty. I'm going to have to push mid here. By the time the sewer guy gets up here, we're in bad position here, so we have to push down into the middle here as soon as that sewer guy, as soon as we think the sewer guy is going to come out. So I push down middle here, especially when Nick says there's some action at storage area 2. But I think the optics made a little bit of a mistake here. When you get a pick in sewer, they become very vulnerable there. And if as a terrorist you can get a pick in sewer, it should be very easy to take A. What I would do is probably just set up an AWPer in middle so they can't rotate into the site at A, and then just send the rest of your guys up Kitty. And obviously the guy through sewer, and it should be a very easy split on A. What they try to do there is fake at A. But I think once you get that pick, a lot of times, unless you're already set up for the fake, is you should just probably go towards A. Okay, so Mikey, again, he played aggressive at that Z early on. He drops back, spots for a rush, and then what he does here is he fakes it playing in that spot. On the previous round, he smoked that spot and played in it. What he's going to do now is smoke that spot and then play next to it. Just throw him off a little bit. And so hopefully he'll get a pretty easy kill here with the guy coming up looking into that smoke. And it's very difficult to see someone in that smoke, and a lot of spots on this map are one-way smokes that if you just sit there in a server, try to figure out some smokes, that it'll be a big advantage for you on the CT side. It's a 2 versus 3 here. I know that they're coming up banana, pretty much all three of them. And they have the bomb, so I just rush in, try to make a move. When the bomb is planning, I figure there's one less guy to shoot me, so I just try to rush in, see if I can get a kill. I was already low health. Perhaps I should have let Kyle try to pick since he had an op and full health, but you know, either way, it was a bad situation. So on this last round, we're going to try another aggressive. We've been very successful on the aggressives that we've done. So, I mean, pretty much we could either way, we could be aggressive or passive, because when we're passive, they're wasting time. When we're aggressive, we're just getting picked. So what we do is we rush in here, we double flash, and then we just rush it together, push all the way down, and Mikey's able to get 3 kills here, and pretty much big advantage for us right now. At this point, Mikey's stuck here, and I think he knew that there was a guy to his right here. No reason for him to call over teammates there, I don't think. He was low health, and they pretty much knew where he was, so it was kind of hopeless for him there. Had he called over teammates, it probably would have just risked their life even more. So bomb was down here. Sal was already pushed, so he called over Kyle's help. That's the only reason Kyle's pushing here. Had Sal not been pushed into the SA1, there's no reason Kyle should have pushed there also, since we had advantage. But since Sal and Kyle were there, you know, it made a little bit of sense for Kyle to come with him. Now it's down to a 2 versus 1. Bomb's down. 15 seconds. It's pretty much just defend the bomb site. They know Mo isn't anywhere near the bomb site right now, and he has to pretty much run the whole way. So, okay, it was an 8-1 half, and really I think a lot of the reason why we were so good is because this was the first time we played Tuscan in an actual match together, and really I don't think they expected our aggressiveness right off the bat. And I speak of this a lot. When you set the tempo on counter terrorists by really just being very aggressive right off the bat, if a team can't adapt right away, it's likely they won't adapt it you know, very well throughout the half. So that's why I suggest a lot of times starting out aggressive right away, because if it works in the early rounds, it'll likely work pretty much throughout the whole half, and it'll also keep them off balance. So that's, you know, why I really like starting off aggressive. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start off here by showing kind of our T-side setup here. We sent 2 through this SA2 and 2 through SA1, 3 through SA2, and we're just kind of slowly work up here. And we just cover each other's backs here, and what we're trying to do here is really just set up our setup. I throw this smoke here right away. It's a one-way smoke, I think, here in middle, and they double smoke off this left side here. Now, we run pretty much a lot of our strats just based off these smokes. Like I showed on Season here, was we throw very similar smokes, so it becomes difficult for them to identify where we're going. What we try here is a push into CD spawn by smoking off that left side. Now, we vary our smokes a little bit in the middle here from round to round, but pretty much you know, every round we're the same here, and we just shift a couple guys here and there. Like maybe we'll send Kyle through sewer one round, or maybe he'll come up kitty with Sal, or maybe he'll just throw a fake there and we'll go towards B. But it's just having a setup like that, and having that smoke down in the middle, it gives you a lot of versatility, because that smoke, it pretty much completely blocks off everything, and I feel very safe rushing up, or not rushing up middle, but going into that smoke in middle, spotting a little bit. I feel very safe running up and throwing some nades. So it gives us a lot of options, and we're going to be able to work into a lot of different strats just based on that setup here. So what we do, again here, we come up here, and we just spot each other's backs, and we try not to use our smokes towards banana. We want to save them more towards mid, because I think it's a little bit more they're a little bit more beneficial there. Once I hear an opera there, I'm just going to flash once to try to push him back. I think that'll be enough to get him out of that position. And once we see these 2 in middle here, in fact, I think I was blind. I don't know if I saw him or not. But this is going to depend a lot on what is going on with the sewer guy. And since Kyle died at sewer here, it makes it a little bit more difficult here for us to come up A, but since time was kind of running low and they really spotted us there, we had to pretty much choose quickly where we wanted to go, and so we just chose to go up kitty, and it just didn't hit the shots there, and they had positioning on us. See, once they kill the sewer guy there, this guy can rotate out of sewer and help cover Kitty. So they're doubled up on Kitty, and so it makes it that much more difficult to come into the site. And that just kind of proves how much of a factor taking sewer is. I mean, if you can get the picks there, you're going to take A lot. Again, you'll notice here that I don't throw any flashes right off the bat. And on a later round, I'm gonna change that up because that's really how I adapt to how aggressive teams are here. Is just that I assume that they're gonna be aggressive and just rush out and flash right away and try to get a kill. I think a little bit the difference that I do as opposed to the optics, they handled aggressive by just sitting back and just kind of throwing their nades, you know, in a general vicinity in SA2, like thinking somebody might be there. And they were just kind of wasting their flashes. What I do is I just rush out right away, and so that if someone's there, I'll get a kill. And I'm not necessarily wasting my flash because it'll pretty much guarantee a kill. They're just throwing their flashes to hold the push. They're not throwing their flashes to get a kill. And I rush out with my flashes there when I'm trying to hold the aggressive. I think a lot of times when you're getting beat by aggressive, you want to counter it with aggression back. You don't just want to sit back because teams will just run you over. You want to counter their aggression with aggression of your own. And I think that's one thing that the optics didn't do first half, and that we're going to do this half that kind of helps us and gets us round as opposed to just, you know, getting run over like they did. You'll see right there, I just flashed and pushed out middle right away. Again, that's how as soon as I notice something's aggressive, I'll flash and get out right away. And then we just all work together here. We play up, work these pillars so we can dodge flashes and just get up here together and ensure that we get trades on pushes instead of sitting way far back and just hoping that they run into, you know, what we're set up into. Okay, so again, I throw that smoke, and then once we get that kill at Z, that we know that it was the banana player, so we rush up here, and we try to get into the site as soon as possible here, and we just try to stick in a group so that we can try to get a trade, and we just got to check spots. Unfortunately, we didn't get a trade on the guy on the site. He was playing a good angle, and the angle that he shot me at, nobody could really get a trade kill at, and he just, you know, rushed out and killed 3 of us. So. You know, not much you can do in that situation there. I think that was just unlucky. He had good positioning, and they switched up their spots a little bit. Usually Clown was playing short, and Mo was playing banana. Because they switched that up, you know, in my head, I was thinking nobody would be in B since we killed the B player. But since they switched it up, and that's something good to do at short and banana, is if you have someone always opping banana, you know, change it up a little bit. You know, once in a while, put a rifler there. Or the same thing for short or the Z, you know, op it once in a while because you know, sometimes they're just going to walk up and assume that you have a rifle, and then you're just going to get an easy kill with an op there. So that's a good thing to do. They did a good thing by switching that up. And again, this is how we kind of handle our aggressives here. We get up here, play together. When they knew someone was close, they double naded it. Instead of just wasting their nades, they waited until they knew something was there, and then they attacked. And so when we get the entries here at A, we just rush up together, get the trades here. Now it's 3 versus 1 advantage. I'm by myself here with the bomb, so I want to wait until I peek the site until my teammates get here. I know I have an opper behind me. I'm just going to let him do the work a little bit. And when I hear him in the site here, I know he's there. So I'm just going to call him for my teammates. One of my teammates rushes up middle. I naded there, almost killed myself. I naded myself down to 2 health. And then we just rush in here and get the kill. Okay, so I'm going to flash and then rush up with my flash. I peek out here. I don't think it's too common for oppers to be picking mid. It's just not something I see all that much these days. But I still smoke this up here. And then I work up into that smoke there. I try to draw some nades as I get 2 nades there, so I know that there's at least 2 guys in the middle there. And I know OPTX is a team that really likes to rotate heavy and over rotate a lot. So instead of rushing into that middle, I tell them to go towards Kitty, and we take 3 up towards Kitty here, while one and I'm sorry, we have 4 there, while one just holds back in the middle there. Now we just get blind here. It was unfortunate. Garrett was able to kill 3 of us, and I think that's partially because we didn't have any sewer presence. Had we had a guy there, I mean, we could have probably easily gotten a trade on the guy behind the sewer box, but I think it's a difficult shot for guys coming up the kitty. And that's, again, another reason why it's so important to have a guy sewer. We're just going to take a look at Mo's rifling skills here. This is a 1 versus 1. He's just, spamming the boxes, but I think Nick just hits a nice shot here. Yep, and they were. Okay, again, here's me getting right on in middle, clearing this close. I'm expecting an eco on one of these rounds, perhaps maybe just deagles and being very aggressive. I'm a little hesitant to smoke this middle, and that's definitely a mistake here, because since I didn't smoke that mid, War Machine was boosted on top of those quad boxes in the left side mid and just got an easy kill on me. So I mean, that's just a dumb mistake on my part. I really got to be smoking that middle pretty much every time. No reason not. And, in fact, if I smoke that up, I can see him and he can't see me, so it's definitely something dumb. But what I wanted to do here on the strat is just switch it up a little bit. We haven't really gone sewer much, so I decided to send the bomb and another guy sewer. When we did go sewer, we always sent just one, so I decided to send 2 here. But again, staying with the same setup, I should have smoked middle earlier. Had I done that, I think it would have been a much easier round for us. But I didn't. I played it dumb, and Mikey was crossing the site here. That's just unfortunate. Guy was posted up on him. Gets the kill, and it's going to be difficult for Nick to win this 2 versus 1. They know he has to plant, so they pretty much should just rush in here, and they get the kill on him. Okay, on this round, it's going to be a strat similar to the first round. We again get in the setup. We double smoke the left side of mid, and what we're going to eventually do is try to just rush into this spawn area and pinch on the B site. Now, the reason why this strat works well is because a lot of teams, they play a setup that has 2 in A and 1 guarding mid. And if this mid guy happens to be on the left side of our mid instead of the right, it's going to be a very easy take for us because he's going to be double smoked off, and we can just pretty much run past him. But even if he is on the right, there's still a good chance if we get a trade kill, we'll very likely rush into B and pinch pretty easily. We had Nick and I think one other guy go up short, while the rest of us just rushed into their CT spawn through that back hall into B. And it works really well for us because they hadn't really seen it yet. They were expecting, when they saw the smokes middle, they were expecting a strat that we probably did on an earlier round with those smokes because our setup was the same, but we actually ran into their spawn. And the guys in B were actually probably pretty surprised to see us in that back hall already, and we were able to get some easy kills with Nick pinching on Banana. It's very important there for Nick to stay alive with him being the pincher. He should be kind of baiting us. He should be waiting for us to get into CT spawn and then just working at Banana with his op and pinching on any guys in the site. Okay, so here's Kyle going solo sewer. I imagine we're gonna probably try to run an A split here, but he gets double pushed in the sewer here. Now, initially I thought, I was like, why would OPTX do that? But I think it's a pretty good idea once in a while. Is double push that sewer. If you kill the sewer guy or clear it right away, there's a lot less chance they're going towards A. And if they're not there, but if they are there and you get the kill, at least a trade, it's going to be much easier to hold A. But from our perspective there, once Kyle called the double push sewer, we just pretty much just grouped and full rush Banana there. And we got the plant down. We got into the site with well, it was a 3 versus 3. We didn't have advantage, but we got into a position we wanted to get into. We just did not hold this post plant here. We even had pretty good positioning here, but we just didn't have our shots to finish off the round. But I'm not upset with how we played that. So that's going to be it. We won this match 12-6. We had a very good CT side and certainly an acceptable T side with getting 4 rounds. Again, I just want to stress, the importance of T side setups and really how aggressiveness can play out in your favor. So, well, that's going to do it for this commentary. Again, the next part in this series is going to be against the Chimera, and I'm really going to just go over, how we adapt to them, knowing how we're going to play. Obviously they're going to know that we like to play very aggressive. So that's going to be something that I keep in mind for the next demo. So that's going to be it, and I hope you guys look forward to the next one.